Hello, my name is Megan Meehan, and today I will be talking to you about the survey method. A brief overview of the method. Surveys are a social scientific research instrument. Surveys are most appropriate to use when you need new data and when people are your best option for providing new data. From Croucher, Cron Mills, 2015, page 223. Most surveys are not public opinion polls, but are directed to a specific administrative, commercial, or scientific purpose. Surveys provide an important source of basic scientific knowledge. From Shuren, 2004, page 10. Why use surveys? As mentioned in the previous slides, surveys are a great tool to use when you need new data and when getting information from people directly is the most helpful. One main purpose of a survey is to measure an individual's own perceptions, attitudes, beliefs, and/or values. From Croucher, Cron Mills, 2015, page 223. Surveys are not specifically used for communication research. People from all fields, scientific and not, use surveys to collect information. Examples include economists, psychologists, health professionals, political scientists, sociologists, etc. From Shuren, 2004, page 10. The type of research method you use depends on what kind of information/data you are trying to collect. From Hansen, 1998, page 231. Creating a well-structured survey. Shuren points out the key steps in creating a survey. These steps include choosing a framework, developing a hypothesis, developing research questions, using multiple levels of questions, and that it is important to consider language and structure. From Croucher, Cron Mills, 2015, page 226. Language choices have a large effect on the results that you will receive. In regards to structure, one way of having good structure is to group together questions with the same answer format. Having clear instructions for the recipient on how to answer the questions is also important for collecting the correct information. Writing survey questions. According to Berger, 2020, page 337, questions should be clear and not ambiguous, using easily understood language, and questions should also be short. One way to achieve clarity is to write sentences that are short and to the point. The shorter your sentences are, the less they will be misunderstood. Berger, 2020, page 338. Questions should not be biased, embarrass respondents, or be leading or loaded questions. In writing questions, avoid showing bias that slants questions to reveal your beliefs and opinions. A similar problem involves writing leading questions in which you ask your respondents, more or less, to agree with you about something or hint that they should answer a question in a certain way. Biased questions and leading questions both impose your ideas and perspectives on your respondents and defeat the purpose of surveys, which is to obtain information about how your respondents feel. From Berger, 2020, page 338. How to administer surveys. When administering surveys, you want to consider who are the participants? What are the groups of people that you are going to be surveying? Are they divided by age, by gender, by interest? It is the moderator's job to decide what group you want to survey and to create the survey from there. How are you collecting the data? Are you doing so online, in person, over the phone, on paper, or using technology? These are all things to consider when administering your surveys. This is from Croucher and Cron Mills, 2015, page 233. It is the moderator's role to make these kind of decisions. Professional applications. Here is an example of a survey from the University of Louisville. This survey focuses on the act of communicating, titled Communication Survey Questions. In this survey, there are 10 questions for the participant to answer. At the top, there's a list of numbers that the participant or respondent should use when answering the survey. 1 is for never, 2 is for not often, 3 is for sometimes, 4 is for often, and 5 is always. The participant is to respond to these questions using the numbers, and when they're done, you add the numbers from questions 1 through 10 from each answer to get a total score. And then over here, we see there's questions 1 through 10 evaluation. So 1 to 2.5 means that they have effective communication skills. 2.6 to 3.5 means they need improvement. Or 3.6 to 5 means they have destructive communication habits, according to this survey. These results show the participants' communication skill level. Analyzing the data. When conducting a survey, it is important to check the surveys for errors, to enter the data that has been collected, to double check the data that you have entered, and then to analyze the data, whatever that may be. From Croucher, Cron Mills, 2015, pages 233 to 234. Strengths of surveys. Overall, surveys have many different strengths. These include cost, speed, quantity of participants, ability to distribute in a variety of places, whether that be online, through social media, over email, in person, etc., and the ability to ask a lot of standardized questions. For cost, typically surveys do not cost much to create or distribute. Part of the moderator's job is to create and distribute their own surveys. With modern technology, it is very easy to distribute surveys quickly and for no cost. For example, you could send a survey out via email or through Google Docs. In regards to speed, using technology, like I was just talking about, allows for surveys to be distributed much more quickly. Before the internet, surveys would have to be created and distributed in person or by mail. Now you can send a survey out with just a click of a button. Because surveys can be distributed quickly and easily, you can have a much larger group of participants. You can send out a survey to hundreds of people in the same amount of time it would take to send a survey out to 10 people. This allows for your participant group to be much larger and potentially more diverse as well. And in regards to the ability to ask a lot of standardized questions, standardization tends to lead to more reliable results, which is always a plus when administering a survey. Drawbacks of surveys. According to Croucher and Cron Mills, there are 4 main limitations. Surveys do not focus on context. A survey is an inflexible instrument. Surveys generally need a large number of participants to be reliable, and self-report surveys may trigger a social desirability bias. Going back to point 2, a survey being an inflexible instrument, that because of standardization, surveys do not leave a lot of room for free expression or an open expression of feelings. In summary, surveys are a social scientific research tool used in many different fields, including communication. Surveys are great for measuring an individual's own perceptions, attitudes, beliefs, and/or values, according to Croucher and Cron Mills, 2015, page 223.